You're listening to Up1Notch, a podcast where I explore the tech business world. My name is Mohammad Aoun, and I'm a growth accelerator for tech companies looking to scale their businesses. I'm sitting down with software industry leaders, startup founders, and tech experts. Tune in to hear about the latest and greatest from the tech world. Hello, everyone. Welcome today to another episode of Up1Notch podcast, where we talk about technology in general, as well as success stories from various industry segments as far as technology is concerned. Today, my guest is Daniel Czar, who is the CEO of V500. And Daniel, welcome today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me.
And thank you so much for taking the time for this podcast. So I just thought maybe having you as a speaker today will be able to kind of untap some of those very commonly used technologies that still, a lot of people want to really understand what they mean in terms of, for example, scaling enterprises and things like that. So we'll be covering a lot today as far as AI and machine learning is concerned. But let me kind of take a pause here. First of all, let you make like an introduction of yourself as well. What does V500 do, and a little bit more about your background so that people can really understand, and we can take it forward from there.
Sure. Thank you for the introduction. So let me just tell a bit more about myself, and V500 system. So Daniel Czarnecki. I'm also CCIE in security, Cisco certified internet network expert in security. Network engineer, and I've worked for over 25 years in information technology, networking security, and delivered many projects. V500 system, it's a startup company. We started maybe not the best time in the COVID era in 2020. However, that was in the back of my head for a very long time. So no matter what was happening in the world, we decided to go through it. Really, we're leveraging our experience and knowledge in information technology, and we're focusing purely on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and natural language processing. Okay. So this is what we do at V500 Systems. We have a team of 12 people. Most of them, they are developers, and it's really engaging. And I will probably tell you later about it, but when you're seeing AI working, it's like magical, it's beautiful, and so on. Yeah. So
absolutely, that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about AI in action. You really said it. It's beautiful to see AI in action. So let's talk a little bit more about, let's say, for example, AI in action in an enterprise. What that really means in terms of automating solutions, making better analytics. What does it really mean? AI and machine learning for an enterprise. How can that really improve the operations of an enterprise?
That's a very good question, and there's many areas that can assist, and I think that's that's why big companies, enterprise companies like Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, they're using this very extensively, and they have they recognize the benefits and the advantages of the artificial intelligence. I think maybe smaller businesses are they're trying to get into that market space. So in terms it makes businesses much more efficient. Yeah, it does. AI there are so many. Well, you have to. There's so much I want to tell you, but you have to look at the AI. It does specific tasks. It doesn't do everything together. It does it It's very good at specific tasks. So So if we take natural language processing, so it can read documents and understand documents. Yeah. So you can ask questions for particular information. So imagine if you had 100,000 documents. For a human being, it's impossible to really, given time, maybe, yes, you can read those, but it will take you a very long time. AI will take seconds to comprehend that. So efficiency and also accuracy, because there are so many algorithms being run. It it takes the data at a minuscule level, up and up and up, which we human, we get distracted and so on and so on. So efficiency, accuracy, and time saving. So kind of and then you can automate so many things. Another thing is it can process boring, tedious, mundane tasks that people don't like it. It's not kind of when they think they're not learning and so on. So I think brings up the morale of people in businesses. Yeah. So there's many areas that AI can assist, and obviously
Right.
cost savings. Yeah, cost savings. If you save time, you save costs as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. So for when it comes, you spoke about RPA, robotics process automation as well, that can kind of automate certain parts of a business operation. Can you talk a little bit about what type of, let's jump on, for example, for a minute away from the enterprise and talking about, let's say, small company operations, for example, small and medium businesses and startups. What type of operations, let's say, for example, in their finance side, HR side, operations side, or let's say in the sales and business development side, can be really automated through the use of RPA and AI and machine learning?
Sure. So maybe I will tell you the first example kind of now, because when we got into it, we didn't have much data. So kind of what we did kind of now, we downloaded lots of PDF documents from stock exchange, Warsaw Stock Exchange in Poland, the public information about companies and so on. And that was, I think, one of the energy companies in Poland. We downloaded 145 documents. Some of them, they were only 2 pages long. Some of them 370 pages long. And we kind of inputted into the AI, machine learning and natural language processing. And the first questions we asked just odd questions. Who is Mark? Who is Mark? Yeah, we didn't know anyone. And straight away, it gave us like a 8-sentence summary. There was a vice president of the company when he joined the board and so on and so on. So it read all the informations and gave you the precise answer. So really, it can actually analyze read and comprehend. I think we have to emphasize the word comprehend. Because it means 100% to understand something 100%. Yeah. So even if we read something, we not always understand the context, the syntax, of the information. Or you have to have deep knowledge in particular area. You could be a lawyer, but there could be a financial information. So then you have to have MBA or something like that. So it does actually understand the information. So that and then you can actually ask questions on a particular topic, and you have to be precise in the questions. You can't ask vague questions and what is my favorite color, because it doesn't understand that. Yeah, but if you ask what is the best performance, what was the best net profit for that company, it will read all the tables, all the boring data, and it will project the information. So let's say 2012 was the best year. Then you might ask following questions, why 2012 was the best year for that company? And then you will see because they cut down something by 30%, they invested in, and so on and so on. So really it gives you and normally you would spend weeks doing that research manually, but with the AI, it does it instantly. And another thing which I have to add before I forget, it constantly learns, it never stops. It always there are new documents, new data, and it matches all the documents together. It evolves into many hundreds of thousands of patterns, to digest the information and what have you. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's the most important part to it, that basically, unless they get smarter with time, as they get more fed, they're fed on data, essentially they get more and more efficient with time. That's the whole value proposition here. Much like humans themselves, whatever mistakes we made in the past, we get stronger and better from that, right? So we learn from it, and then we make ourselves better from that. So that's the whole point there. So within the AI and machine learning space, I mean, we keep on hearing about terms like deep learning. We hear about neural networks and all of that. Can you also talk a little bit more about what that is?
Yes. However, this is at really enterprise layer, enterprise level, shall we say, deep learning and neural networks, because it goes into deep layers, shall we say, into the data, and there's a massive amount of data, like petabytes of data, which normally the small businesses are are not generating that. It's like with autonomous cars, there's just to give you an example, if I remember this correctly, normal car, I think, will generate about normal average car, few years old, will generate 2 gigabytes of data per hour, and it's flashed, and it's it's kept for some time, and then it's flashed. The autonomous car will generate 2 gigabytes of data per second. Yeah, so that's a huge difference. Yeah, to absorb that So that's why because when the car is driving, it's it's learning the environment. It's always different. Yeah, It could be in the winter when it doesn't see the lanes on the road, and that's gonna have a problem with that, or doesn't see the sign, or what have you, or or vice versa. Or it's the car is outside of GPS signals, so it has to use the sensors and what have you. So this, yeah, it's it's really deep analyzing those informations. Another example will be, which is very popular in manufacturing sector, IoTs. So to make the companies much more efficient, and really the IoTs, Internet of Things, the sensors. Really, I think that's what you have to call them, sensors in a simple terms. Generate well, meaningless data for us, for humans. If someone looked at the data, just numbers. By using AI and deep learning, you can get the sense of the data, and and then you can actually. There was a good example with Toyota. I think I will tell you about the example. I've read somewhere. Obviously, Toyota massive manufacturers, one of the top manufacturers in the world. And when the AI started, they were very apprehensive about this. However, they wanted to give it a try, because they pride themselves on safety and quality and so on. So they wanted to have a go with the AI. They're using some furnaces, I think, to make the molds and so on. And they have to change the fans in those furnaces 4 to 5 times a year. Yeah. So when they use the IoT and the sensors and what have you, they, just to cut long story short, they discovered that the sensors would predict when the fan will fail. I mean, that was normal process, because of the heat and so on. So they knew in advance that when it's gonna fail. So they could schedule the maintenance, and it would take 12 hours to cool down the furnace, then change the fan, and 12 hours to bring up the furnace to the optimal temperature. So there was no disruptions in production line. Yeah, so in that way. So that's how the AI could assist them.
Right. So basically, based on the patterns, based on the data that is coming out of a system, it can predict really what's about to happen, right? And basically foresee things that would otherwise cost huge amounts of money for the company. And based on the predictions and foreseeing it before time, basically fixing those things in time. So yeah, definitely, absolutely, that's exactly what the value of essentially deep learning and all of these technologies really is for businesses, regardless of whether they are enterprise level or small and medium business or startups. Thank you so much, Daniel, for taking the time for this podcast. It was very helpful having you on the podcast, and we'll love to have another interaction, I guess, in the upcoming episodes.
Thank you very much. I hope I made some sense about it. We are very passionate about AI, and truly, I encourage businesses to make steps towards it. Just think about it. What don't jump into it, but just have an agenda. How we can improve some services, how it can make the business better, much more competitive, and start thinking about how you're gonna make that journey, because it's gonna give you a huge advantage.
Absolutely.
That's my personal opinion. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much,
Daniel, for your time.
Thank you.